welcome back to my podcast. It is your host, Michelle Liana here, and today we're going to be talking about a very personal topic to me, and that is my depression. So, for as long as I can remember, I think that I have suffered with anxiety and depression growing up, and it started in high school. So I think that my depression definitely manifested in the last 1 or 2 years of high school. And I can't pinpoint an exact trigger, but I think it was accumulation of things, of the future being uncertain, my grades. There was pressure from my parents for doing well and getting certain grades to get into university. I think there was just a lot of factors that started this hole that I fell deeper in over the years. And it honestly got so much worse when I left home and I lived in Australia by myself when I went to university. I lived in student accommodation for a couple of years before I started living in my own apartment. But honestly, those first couple of years of uni, I loved maybe the first couple of months of uni, but then I started to fall into like a hole with my depression probably after the first year of university. And I basically just didn't come out of my room. I locked myself in. I would sleep all day, and even though I wasn't tired, I would still sleep because I felt like sleeping was better than waking up and experiencing life. And that is just really sad to admit because I don't really remember much in that period apart from me just being in my room and sleeping and being on social media. And also I was in a long distance relationship as well. And I don't think that helped because I was just missing home. I was missing my boyfriend. I just felt so alone, and just feeling alone, and I felt like no one understood what I was going through apart from some friends that I had that I was living with. And I still wouldn't even come out of my room to go hang out with those friends that I could confide in. And I didn't feel like my boyfriend at the time really understood mental health or depression, anxiety. Just one of those people that I think he just would always say, you'll get over it, or I don't know, he just never knew how to deal with it, to be honest. And yeah, that definitely did not help because he was one of my best friends also. I obviously don't think it's his fault either, because when you haven't gone through depression or anxiety, it is something really hard to wrap your head around why people feel down or they feel depressed. And it definitely is just a chemical imbalance in your brain that just makes you so unenthusiastic about life, and you think in such a negative way all the time. And I just remember my mindset being so much more negative, and I didn't want to live. And to be honest, like, that's really hard to admit, but the amount of times that I thought that if I just died, that everything would just go away and I wouldn't be able to feel this pain anymore, and that no one would really care if I was gone. I can't really tell you guys how many times, like countless times, that I thought of taking my own life, and even Googling how to take my own life. And that is really sad to admit. Makes me want to cry. But it just is the reality of depression. People that are depressed, they just think that dying would be so much better than feeling all this pain and sadness and all the hurtful things that you say to yourself. That's definitely the mentality that I had. And until I met my second serious relationship, I was depressed and just went throughout life like just so kind of like a fog. Like, it felt like a blur. I felt like I was just waking up, going to uni, coming back, sleeping. And sometimes as well, I would even forget to eat. Like, I lost so much weight because I was just not eating because I was sleeping all the time. Even when I slept all the time, when I would wake up, I would feel still so tired, and I would just feel like it was almost like I couldn't see clearly, like everything was just like a fog. if that makes sense. It's really hard to explain. When I think back, that part of my life, I just felt like I was just awake and walking, but I wasn't there. Until I met my second serious boyfriend after my first real boyfriend. My depression probably was still there, maybe around 6 months into us dating. And after that, I felt so much better. I think he was definitely a really positive influence in that regard, because he got me up, awake, and going out and doing things. Like, we were constantly together 24/7, just going out, doing bowling. We were out going to the beach, and just so many different things that I was excited about life. I was in love, and just there was just so many things that I wanted to be awake for, basically. And probably that relationship, that's the one thing I would thank that person for making me feel so much better about life and excited about life again, because that was the starting point of me getting to where I am right now and being where I've always wanted to be. And I can honestly say that I never went to counseling much. My mindset just changed. And that is a really big thing I want to focus on, because my mindset and how I was thinking and talking to myself changed drastically, which helped my depression so much. I probably suffer more from anxiety now, and social anxiety and things like that, rather than me being depressed. But there are definitely still days where I feel very low and I just want to be by myself, and that takes over. But the next day, after I do all of my self-care things, the next day I feel so much better about myself. And I try to be alone a lot, because I think that helps me a lot. And I know that's not how everyone may feel, and being alone might trigger them more in their depression and anxiety. But I find that if I spend too much time with people, then I feel like I'm kind of losing myself a little bit. I don't have that time to really be one-on-one with myself and focus on my goals. And I think what I want to achieve out of life and my goals has given me that drive and that ambition to push myself and get myself out of bed and do those things every day. Having passion and doing things that you love really does help, and that has definitely changed my mindset and mentality and helped my depression a lot. I do feel that it's definitely still there in waves every now and then. I'm honestly so much healthier with my mindset now than I have ever been in my entire life. And I think that also comes from self-love and knowing my worth and what I should and shouldn't stand for. Self-love is obviously a different topic that I will talk about in the future with another podcast. But I just wanted to let you guys know that depression is so common in women and men. I know so many people that have suffered with depression, and they seem like the happiest people I've ever met, most positive person, but they are silently suffering. So I would honestly just reach out to all of your friends, your family all the time, and make sure you tell people that you love them and that you're there for them and that you care about them, because hearing that really does make a difference. And I know that the people that told me that they loved me and they cared about me, that really made me feel worth living. You are honestly never alone, and there is always help available. I did go through a few counseling sessions, but everyone will find what works best for them. And if that's being on your own, then be on your own. If that's confiding your friends, your boyfriend, anyone. But never let someone make you feel that you can just switch it off and that your feelings aren't valid, because they are valid and you have a voice. And I would definitely confide in your family and your friends when you're feeling down. And even when you are locking yourself up in your home and your friend asks you to go get bubble tea or Baskin Robbins or whatever, say yes, because that will just make you feel so much better to get out of the house and do things like exercise, meditate, watch your favorite YouTuber, watch a movie that you love, like little things like that that give you joy. Do those things because that just gives you passion for life and makes you want to get out of bed every day. I have also found that having a routine in the morning, like not looking at your phone for maybe the first hour after you get up and making your bed, having a cup of coffee, meditate, just look out the window and admire nature. Little things like that really help too to set your mindset right. And if you notice anything triggering you, like a person, a partner, a person you follow on Instagram, anything like that, remove that thing from your life that's triggering you, because that's exactly what I do. If something triggers me or a person or whatever it is, I will literally cut that thing out of my life and stop hanging out or doing whatever is that's triggering me. We are all here for a purpose, and our life is so worth living. And until you find that purpose, you should make it your mission to find it. Kindness will be your biggest asset too, and it will make you stand out from the rest, because there are a lot of people that are not kind and understanding. Everyone you meet and know has gone through a very low point in their life, and even the happiest people, they have been at the lows of lows. So always be kind, because you never know what someone's story is. That's all for today's podcast, guys. I love you so much and thank you for listening. I will speak to you guys in my next podcast. Bye!